With the mental state of a 6-year-old and an IQ of only 46, 23-year-old Joe Arridy was convicted of and wrongfully put to death for the rape and murder of 15-year-old Dorothy Drain. Because Arridy was intellectually challenged, it wasn't difficult for detectives to get a false confession out of him. That false confession would ultimately be his downfall, as the jury would convict him and sentence him to execution. Guards and prisoners liked Arridy, with Warden Roy Best being no exception, who deep down knew Arridy was innocent and supported him from the beginning. Some say he cared for Joe Arridy like a son. Joe Arridy didn't understand he was on death row and that he was due to be killed. He even appeared to enjoy his time spent in prison, and people in the prison recalled seeing him laughing regularly and making silly faces at himself in a mirror. Joe Arridy was described by the warden as the happiest prisoner on death row because he truly didn't understand the fact that he was going to be executed. No matter how many attempts people made to try and explain to Arridy that he was set to die by execution, he just couldn't comprehend it due to his mental disability. Arridy requested ice cream for his last meal, and when he didn't finish it, he asked to have it put in the freezer to be saved for later. A true example of how little he understood the concept of being put to death, and that he wouldn't be able to come back to enjoy his favorite snack. Joe Arridy absolutely adored a toy train given to him by Warden Best, and he was allowed to play with it one last time before his execution. When he was told he could not take his toy train in with him, he became angry and ended up giving it to another death row inmate who had played with him and his train in the past. Joe Arridy was taken to the gas chamber. A short moment of realization hits him when they blindfold him, and then he starts to frown. The frown disappears from his face as Roy held his hand. The warden begins to tear up, pleading for Arridy's sentence to be commuted, but to no avail, and Joe Arridy died in the gas chamber at 8:19 p.m. In 2011, Colorado Governor Bill Ritter granted Joe Arridy a posthumous pardon, clearing his good name 72 long years after his unjust death. He has gone down in history with the title the happiest prisoner on death row, but for all the wrong reasons, as he had no idea the reality he was living and the consequences to his false confession. In an interview before his execution, Joe Arridy was asked if he wanted to leave prison, to which he replied, "No, I want to live with Warden Best, and I want to get a life sentence and stay here with Warden Best."